Hey guys, it's Rebecca. Welcome to my channel, RebeccATTACK, where I post gaming videos, but mostly so far just Sims building videos. Today I was deciding to tackle a modern build, which was a little daunting. I typically build what I know, and I definitely do not know modern builds at all. I've never stepped foot in a modern house. I really have only stepped foot in Victorian houses or, you know, farmhouses, suburbans, things like that. So this was a little daunting. But I kind of figured that modern houses are just a bunch of boxes put together, and I can do that. I can make a bunch of boxes and then put them together and make them into a house. So that's what I did. Bunch of boxes. I did see a photo on Pinterest that was just a very white, chic looking modern build, and then so I used that color inspiration, just really stark white, just to get that clean, crisp look. And lots of windows, a lot of windows. I thought that the Sims that lived here were very, very wealthy. And so the place doesn't have a lot of clutter in it. It's just very, very clean and crisp looking. So that's kind of my inspiration. White and boxy. That's what I went for with this. I ended up really liking it. I found it very, very fun to do. It was a little frustrating at the beginning because I kind of felt that I didn't know where I was gonna go with the build. I just kept putting boxes. But I did end up liking the end result. That was very nice. So for any of you who want to download any of my builds, keep in mind that I do use cheats, so make sure before you download any of my builds off of the gallery, you do have move objects cheat on, because I shift things, and so if you don't have that turned on, nothing good will happen. I also have I use a lot of hidden objects and debug, so make sure you just have your cheats turned on. So when I build, I like to work on the outside first to make sure that I like it. It's an appealing house to me. So I just kind of was working on that, working on the outside, working on the landscaping, just to make sure that I was going to end up liking this. And I did. I did like it. Backyard, I end up making it very, very luxurious. I have a nice fountain pool that they can swim in, and lots of plants. I thought it ended up being very pretty. I'm going in and I'm removing all of the walls because, like I said, just put boxes everywhere. And then now I have to actually figure out the floor plan, which again, I had zero thoughts on when I was doing this. I just was kind of going with the flow. And again, I liked how it ended up. So this build is a 2-bathroom, 2-bedroom build, and it does have a fitness room and a big outdoor patio, and yeah, and it is 2 full bathrooms. So the upstairs has a shower and the downstairs bathroom has a bathtub. So if your shower breaks and you don't feel like calling anybody to come fix it or fixing it yourself, you can come down and use the bathtub. Again, when I was making this, I just really wanted to make it very chic, not a lot of clutter. I don't know, I have this idea that wealthy people don't have a lot of clutter. I wouldn't know. But I just wanted everything to be crisp and clean. And that was actually a little beneficial. Usually when I do my Victorian houses or my suburban builds, I put in a lot of clutter because I want it to look lived in, but this was easy because I didn't have to worry about that. and I just made everything look shiny and new, kind of like a model home. But you'll see everything on the inside is pretty much white. I wanted to carry that clean look from the outside to the inside, so everything is just very white. Very, very white. I like it. It would be really difficult to keep clean, but I guess if you're wealthy enough to own a house like this, then you probably have a housekeeper. That would be nice. And I don't know, I was putting all these lights on the outside of the house because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but whenever I drive by very expensive large houses, they have lighting all over the outside of the house. Like, not just at the door, just all over. And I keep thinking that people must have very thick blinds because I can't sleep at all if I can see any light from the outside. And I have blinds. And even sometimes with my blinds, I get very frustrated at night. I can't imagine having lights all over my house. But, yeah. These people do. I kind of went back and forth with what the inside was going to look like. I didn't really, again, I didn't have a clear plan, so you'll see I changed my mind a lot. But I ended up going with taking out the floor in a little part of the upstairs so that the Sims, while they were working out, could look out down toward the front door. And I like that. Though, in hindsight, if this was a real house, I would be really worried that I was going to fall off the balcony. But, you know, they're Sims. They're not going to fall off the balcony. And with my fitness room, I really wanted to make it look like a fitness room. I kind of took inspiration from hotel fitness centers, where you have the hamper and the shelves of towels for you to wipe down with, because oh my gosh, you're not allowed to bring towels from your room. You have to use the towels in there, and you can't bring those towels outside of the fitness room or the pool. They're very particular about their towels. So I did go with that kind of theme and have towels and a hamper. I just thought it looked kind of nice. I do have a lot of bare walls in this build, just because I thought the pictures and everything would be kind of sparse, and I liked that. I think it ended up looking nice. I do have several save files for this build. I started building it at like 1 in the morning. I got very inspired and then realized that it was 3 in the morning and I needed to go to bed. So you'll see I work on it over the course of a full day. I worked on this build, and I ended up really liking it. I thought it looked nice. This to me is set in a tropical area, so you'll see I put palm trees out, and the furniture I use is just base game, but I did use landscaping from Island Living, so a lot of the plants are Island Living plants. But everything else, I believe, I tried to keep it pretty base game so that if you only have base game, you can download this build and only really the landscaping will be affected. Lots of plants. I always put a lot of plants in my builds as well. And with this build, I tried to keep it to plants with white planters, just to keep that crisp look going. And again, you'll see I like to size up and down objects a lot in my builds. I just think it makes things look nice. I'll do it with rugs. I'll do it with paintings mostly, and I just think it gives it that nice little touch. I'm just working on the inside. Yeah, I ended up liking this a lot, and this is not my personal favorite style. Again, I grew up in a Victorian house, so Victorian houses are definitely my favorite. I really like the architecture, but this was fun. I ended up liking this. I always have a hard time deciding if I want to put blinds over the windows. I wish there were more options for blinds. I mean, I only have a few packs, but I just don't feel like there are many options, and it makes me sad. All of the pictures I tried to keep very gray and white. Again, I wanted a single theme in this house, and that was just lots of gray, lots of white, just fancy rich people looking stuff. And you see that box up top of my build? It's just there for aesthetics. I don't have anything that goes up there because I definitely didn't feel like this modern build would have a ladder, and so the only way to get up there without using too much space would be a ladder, because I don't have a spiral staircase, which was probably one of my favorite things to use in The Sims 1, was that spiral staircase. It didn't take up much room and it just really worked. And I want a spiral staircase. I want one. Thank you for the ladders, but I want a spiral staircase. The landscaping was the most fun in this video, and I did build a kind of fountain waterfall type thing that went into the pool, and unfortunately that save file was corrupted, so that part of the build you don't get to see. You get to see at the end, but you unfortunately don't get to see me create it. But it was very cool. You'll see in the pool I sized rocks up so it just kind of looks like a nice little waterfall, and I thought it was pretty. I always like nice backyards because I spend a lot of time outside, so I personally would want a backyard that I would spend a lot of time in. The outside landscaping definitely took me a while. I did move objects to make the fountain spouts very close together to give it that waterfall feeling. And I ended up making another fountain, a little one on the side in the backyard, because they can afford fountains. Whoever lives here, they can afford lots of fountains, and they want that luxury. Now the car out front in the driveway, that's a debug item. So just make sure you turn your cheats on so that you can get those cool items. If you don't want to use debug, you can actually take a toy car and size it up to the size of a regular car, but it's honestly easier just to use debug, and there's more car options if you use debug. It definitely changed my mind a lot in this build. Because again, I didn't have a clear picture of what I wanted to do, and I was just kind of rolling with the punches. But I ended up really liking it. I just thought it was very, very clean looking. I would never be able to keep this house clean. Ever. There is far too much white in this house. I would never be able to keep it clean at all. I think in one of my previous builds I talked about how I have a white couch. Yeah, this morning I went to go clean and there was just ink on the white couch. So I spent my entire morning trying to get ink out of this white couch. I would never have a white couch again. How is there ink on the couch? How? I don't know. Somebody obviously had a pen in their pocket or something, but I'm so frustrated. But it's pretty nonetheless. And again, if you have enough money to live in this fancy house, then you have enough money to get a couch professionally cleaned. So it's something that people do. Have somebody, I guess you can. You have somebody come in and clean your couch. I'm really hung up on that stain. I couldn't quite get it out. But I do like the look of everything white, which is why we have a white couch. It looks nice when it's clean. So I ended up really liking the backyard in this build a lot. It was my first time trying to make a little fountain area, and I ended up really liking it. I thought it was very pretty. It looked really nice at night with all the lights, and it just ended up looking really good. So if you end up liking this build, it is available on the gallery. My ID is RebeccATTAck16. You can go ahead and download it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I put videos out every single week. Have a great day, guys.